You've spent years taking care of everyone else, making sacrifices, holding things together, being strong for others. But now it's time to focus on you. It's time to stop seeking validation from people who never truly saw your worth. It's time to stop explaining your choices to those who were never walking in your shoes. Because wisdom teaches us that silence is not weakness, it is strategy. It is a refusal to waste energy on what does not serve you. It is choosing to protect your peace instead of proving a point. When you stay silent, you hear more, you see more, you grow more. And when you grow, you evolve into a version of yourself that doesn't need applause, doesn't need approval, doesn't need to be understood by everyone. There's a power that comes with age, a knowing, a deep understanding that life is too short to waste on people who drain your joy. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing yourself. You don't need to justify your boundaries. You don't need to explain why you walked away from chaos and chose peace instead, because you've given enough, you've done enough, you've been enough. And now this chapter is about you, about rediscovering what makes you happy, about embracing stillness, about enjoying life without the weight of unnecessary conversations. There comes a point in life when you realize that peace is not something you stumble upon. It's something you have to fight for, protect, and intentionally choose every single day. It's not just about avoiding conflict. It's about creating a space where your soul can breathe. It's about waking up in the morning without the weight of unnecessary burdens pressing down on you. It's about knowing that not every battle requires your presence, not every comment needs a response, and not every situation is worth your emotional investment. You've spent years carrying responsibilities that weren't always yours to bear. You've sacrificed your wants, your needs, and sometimes even your identity to accommodate others. But in this season of life, you must give yourself permission to put your well-being first. That means setting boundaries without guilt. That means walking away from conversations that drain you instead of nourish you. That means understanding that your peace is worth more than someone else's comfort. People will expect you to always be available, always be the problem solver, always be the one who bends. But you are not obligated to live in a cycle of exhaustion just to make sure everyone else is satisfied. Peace is knowing when to step back. It's recognizing when something is no longer serving you. It's choosing quiet over chaos, stillness over stress, and joy over justification. This isn't about selfishness. It's about self-preservation. When you prioritize your peace, you don't just change your environment, you change your spirit. You allow yourself to heal, to grow, to exist without the constant need to explain or defend yourself. You make space for what truly matters, and in doing so, you reclaim the life that was always meant to be yours. Silence is often mistaken for weakness, but in reality, it is one of the greatest demonstrations of strength. There is power in restraint, in choosing not to react, in holding back words that don't serve a purpose. When you embrace silence, you create space to observe, to listen, and to understand more than those who are quick to speak. Words spoken in haste can be weapons, but silence allows you to maintain control, to choose your battles wisely, and to protect your energy from unnecessary conflict. People expect reactions, they expect explanations, they expect engagement. But when you refuse to give them what they anticipate, you disrupt the pattern. You take control of the situation rather than letting it take control of you. Silence is not avoidance. It is a deliberate decision to not waste energy where it is not valued. It is recognizing that some conversations are not worth having. Some people are not worth convincing, and some situations are best left unanswered. When you choose silence, you give yourself the opportunity to reflect. You allow emotions to settle before making decisions. You shift from reacting to responding, from being impulsive to being intentional. There is wisdom in understanding that not everything needs to be addressed, that not every insult deserves a reply, that not every misunderstanding requires a defense. Silence creates an aura of mystery, of confidence, of self-assurance. It commands respect without demanding it. It allows your presence to be felt without forcing your voice to be heard. The most powerful individuals are not always the loudest in the room. They are the ones who know when to speak and when to stay silent. In silence, there is clarity. In silence, there is growth. In silence, there is undeniable strength. The past has a way of holding on, of lingering in the corners of your mind, whispering reminders of what was, what could have been, and what should have been different. It traps you in cycles of regret, replaying old conversations, reliving old wounds, and opening scars that should have healed long ago. But there comes a time when you have to decide that the past no longer has permission to define you. Letting go is not about forgetting. It is not about pretending things never happened. It is about accepting that what's done is done, that no amount of overthinking can rewrite history, that no level of guilt can change the choices you or others made. It is understanding that growth does not come from dwelling on what cannot be undone, but from embracing what still lies ahead. Pain from the past will try to convince you that holding on keeps you safe, that replaying old betrayals will prevent new ones, that remembering every disappointment will keep your heart protected. But in reality, all it does is keep you stuck. It keeps you from seeing new opportunities, from experiencing joy in the present, from stepping fully into the freedom that is waiting for you. You are not the person you were back then. You are not defined by your mistakes or by the mistakes of others. Every experience, every heartbreak, every loss was a chapter, not the whole story. The past served its purpose. It taught you, it shaped you, it strengthened you, but it was never meant to hold you captive. You have the power to release it, to free yourself from its weight, and to step forward unburdened, lighter, and ready for what's next. There is a difference between being selfish and choosing yourself. For too long, you have been conditioned to believe that prioritizing your own well-being is an act of neglect toward others. That if you take time for yourself, if you set boundaries, if you say no when something does not serve you, then you are being unkind. But self-love is not selfish, it is survival. It is recognizing that you cannot pour from an empty cup, that you cannot continue to give when you are running on empty, that you deserve the same care and attention you so freely give to others. Loving yourself means honoring your needs without guilt. It means understanding that you are worthy of rest, of joy, of saying no without explanation. It means treating yourself with the same kindness you extend to those around you. You would not allow someone you love to constantly neglect themselves, to overextend, to live exhausted and unfulfilled. So why do it to yourself? People may not always understand your boundaries. They may call you distant, changed, or even selfish for protecting your peace. But that is not your burden to carry. The ones who truly value you will respect the love you show yourself because they know it allows you to be your best. Self-love is not a luxury. It is a necessity. It is the foundation for how you experience life, how you show up for yourself, and how you teach others to treat you. There comes a time in life when you must realize that not everyone deserves a front row seat to your journey. You have spent years being available, answering every call, showing up for people who would never do the same for you, giving energy to relationships that drained you more than they poured into you. But now in this season, it is time to be selective. It is time to understand that your time, your presence, and your peace are privileges, not obligations. Not everyone should have access to your thoughts, your emotions, or your space. Some people only come around when they need something but disappear when you are the one in need. Some bring negativity, doubt, and chaos into your life, yet expect you to always be open to them. Protecting yourself is not about shutting the world out, but about making sure that those who remain in your life add value, bring peace, and respect your boundaries. You are not required to keep old friendships out of loyalty when they no longer align with who you are becoming. You are not obligated to answer every message or be available for every request. You have every right to decide who is worthy of your time, your energy, and your presence. People who truly value you will respect your boundaries. Those who feel entitled to your constant availability were never there for you, only for what they could take from you. It is okay to love people from a distance. It is okay to close doors that lead to stress and drama. It is okay to prioritize your well-being over the expectations of others. The more you protect your space, the more peace you will find and the more room you will have for the relationships that truly matter. Growth is not something you announce, it is something you live. When you truly evolve, you do not have to explain yourself, prove yourself, or convince anyone that you have changed. The way you move, the way you respond, the way you carry yourself will say everything that words never could. People will notice that you no longer engage in the same arguments, no longer entertain the same distractions, no longer seek validation in the same places. They will see the difference in how you protect your peace, how you guard your time, how you prioritize your well-being. There will be those who try to pull you back into who you used to be. They will remind you of your past, question your new choices, and expect you to justify your transformation. But growth does not require explanation. You do not owe anyone an apology for outgrowing spaces that no longer fit you. You do not need permission to step into the version of yourself that aligns with where you are going instead of where you have been. Some people will be uncomfortable with your growth because it challenges them to reflect on their own stagnation. They may criticize, gossip, or doubt you not because you are doing something wrong, but because you are doing something different. But you do not have to argue, defend, or prove anything. Just keep growing, keep elevating, keep walking in purpose. Your actions, your peace, your mindset will make it clear that you are not the same person they once knew. Growth is silent, but its impact is loud. It cannot be ignored. And when you stay focused on becoming the best version of yourself, those who are meant to align with you will recognize it without you ever having to say a word. For too long, you have lived according to expectations that were never truly yours. You have made decisions to please others, sacrificed your happiness to fit into roles that drained you, and measured your worth by standards that never considered your joy. But now, in this season, it is time to live life on your terms. It is time to stop asking for permission to be happy, to stop waiting for the perfect moment, and to embrace the freedom of doing what fulfills your soul. There is no one way to live a meaningful life. What brings peace to others may not bring peace to you, and that is okay. You do not have to justify your happiness to people who do not understand it. You do not have to follow a timeline that was never meant for you. If you want to travel, go. If you want to rest, rest. If you want to reinvent yourself, do it boldly. The opinions of others should never hold more weight than your own desires. People will always have something to say, always have an idea of who they think you should be, but their expectations are not your responsibility. You have spent years pouring into others, making sacrifices, being who the world needed you to be. Now it is time to prioritize yourself, to wake up with excitement instead of obligation, to do what brings you joy without explanation. Enjoying life on your terms means defining success for yourself. It means choosing peace over pressure, fulfillment over fear, and authenticity over approval. It means breaking free from the idea that your happiness must be earned when in reality it is your birthright. You have one life. Make sure you are living it for you, not for them. Strength is often associated with loudness, with the ability to fight back, to argue, to make your presence known in every situation. But real strength is not found in how loudly you speak. It is found in the moments when you choose to stay silent. It takes more power to hold your tongue than to use it recklessly. It takes more wisdom to walk away from unnecessary battles than to engage in them just to prove a point. Silence is not weakness, it is control. It is knowing that your energy is too valuable to waste on things that do not deserve your response. There will be times when people expect a reaction from you. They will provoke, misunderstand, misjudge, and even try to twist your words against you. But when you choose silence, you take the power out of their hands. You refuse to let their negativity pull you into chaos. You do not need to explain yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. You do not need to defend your growth to those who are intimidated by it. Your silence will speak louder than any argument ever could. Strength in silence is about discernment. It is knowing when to speak and when to let your actions do the talking. It is resisting the urge to prove yourself to people who were never meant to understand you. It is choosing peace over drama, wisdom over impulse, and growth over ego. Not everything requires a response. Not every insult needs a reply. Not every battle deserves your presence. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is remain silent, move forward, and let life show what words never could. Because true strength is not in proving yourself, it is in knowing you never had to. Aging is not something to fear, resist, or apologize for. It is a privilege denied to many. Every year, every wrinkle, every gray hair is a testament to the life you have lived, the wisdom you have gained, and the battles you have overcome. Society may try to convince you that growing older is a burden, that your value decreases with time, that your best years are behind you. But the truth is, aging is a gift. A reminder that you are still here, still learning, still evolving, still capable of experiencing love, joy, and purpose. You have spent so much of your life giving, nurturing, sacrificing, building for others. Now this is your time to live with intention. Aging is an opportunity to embrace yourself fully, to release the need for validation, to let go of the pressures that once weighed you down. It is a season of self-discovery, of peace, of moving at your own pace without apology. The opinions that once mattered so much begin to fade, and what remains is the deep understanding of what truly brings you happiness. There is a confidence that comes with age, an ability to see through illusions, to recognize what is real and what is not. You no longer waste time on things that drain you. You no longer chase approval or hold on to relationships that do not serve you. You learn to cherish the small moments, to appreciate the beauty of simplicity, to value peace over perfection. Your journey is not over. There is still laughter to be had, dreams to be pursued, new experiences to embrace. The years behind you are proof of your strength, and the years ahead of you are filled with endless possibilities. Aging is not the closing of a chapter. It is the unfolding of a new one, written on your terms. No matter how many years have passed, no matter how much life has changed, no matter how many seasons you have walked through, your purpose is still alive. It did not expire with age, it was not erased by past failures, and it is not diminished by what you did or did not accomplish. Purpose is not tied to a timeline, nor does it disappear because time has moved forward. If you are still here, then there is still something for you to do, something for you to give, something for you to experience that only you can fulfill. There is a lie that whispers it's too late. That lie tells you that the dreams you once had should stay buried, that your gifts are no longer needed, that what you've missed out on can never be recovered. But the truth is, purpose evolves. It does not remain confined to the expectations you had in your younger years. It shifts, it grows, it finds new ways to manifest in your life. What once looked like ambition may now look like wisdom. What once was about striving may now be about guiding. Your purpose may not look the same, but it is still alive within you, waiting to be embraced. You are not here by accident. Every experience, every lesson, every challenge has shaped you for this moment. There are people who still need what you have to offer. There are places where your presence still makes a difference. There are passions that still burn within you, waiting for you to recognize them again. Do not count yourself out because of a number. You are not done. Your purpose is still alive, still moving, still waiting for you to step into it with confidence, knowing that there is more ahead. Life does not stop moving forward, and neither should you. Every day you wake up is another opportunity to grow, to embrace change, and to step fully into the person you were always meant to be. Your past does not define you, your age does not limit you, and your journey is far from over. This season of your life is not about looking back with regret, but about moving forward with intention. It is about prioritizing your peace, protecting your energy, and choosing joy on your own terms. There is power in silence, wisdom in restraint, and strength in knowing when to walk away from anything that no longer serves you. You do not need to prove yourself to anyone. Your growth will speak louder than words, and your peace will be your greatest response. The people who are meant to walk with you will respect the boundaries you set, and those who cannot handle your transformation were never meant to stay. Aging is not a burden, it is a privilege. Every wrinkle tells a story, every gray hair carries wisdom, and every day you are given is another chance to live fully. You are not here by accident. Your purpose is still alive, still breathing, still waiting for you to claim it with confidence. Do not let fear, doubt, or the expectations of others hold you back from embracing the life you deserve. This is your time to be at peace, to love yourself without guilt, to enjoy life without apology. Your happiness is not something you need to explain. It is something you need to embrace. Walk boldly in the direction of your joy, knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. The best is still ahead of you. Thank you.